restaurant named after Maria Callas. Heron is evidently very expensive. That's pretty cool. For porcelain things. Tea sets. This is St. Stephen's Cathedral. Lots of gold and marble. There's no marble in the country. All imported. From Italy. In the cupola, this is all mosaic. 12 apostles. This is St. Stephen. St. Stephen offering the Holy Crown.
The original Leo, absolutely. He's offering the Virgin Mary. She is our protector, our queen.
This crown was used by the Kingdom of Hungary for most of its existence. More than 50 kings were crowned with it until 1916. In 1083, some 45 years after his death, Stephen was canonized. His body was exhumed. His right arm was reportedly not withered or decayed. It was removed from his body to be venerated as a holy relic. Stores are on the ground floor, but if you look up, there's lots of very interesting architecture. It's probably high quality Hungarian chocolate. This needs a lot of renovation. I'm trying to decide who's going to pay for it. This style is eclectic. Here's a Jewish synagogue that we're headed towards. This is a Moorish Baroque style architecture. Now that definitely looks Moorish.
How high, how wide, how long, whatever, but it is really huge. It is important to say that because in those times, now we are talking about 1850s, the majority of Hungary numbered up to 1 million Jews in the country, which for those times when Hungary was roughly around 7 million in total as population as Hungarians, is a really high number. And unfortunately, after the Second World War, this number was dropped to 400,000. So more than a half of Jews, especially from Budapest, but from the whole country, were taken into the so-called labor camps, but camps of death. And it all happened from May 44 until July 44. Ghetto was formed here in this area, and this is where all the Jews of Budapest were brought in, gathered in, the others, and men cannot.
That's where the women sat.
And then the sanctuary, which is behind, where we are keeping scrolls, Torah scrolls, is also behind the beam. But every other element which is needed for the service, for the God's service, is here present. The chair where Rabbi is sitting, when the cantors are sitting, when the 10 men are surrounding the bima and reading the Torah scroll, Everything is here. So even nowadays, on Friday afternoons, Saturdays, this temple is closed for tourists or damaged because half of Budapest was badly damaged, bombed, targeted, etc. Yes, I will say yes. One of the towers was damaged and parts of the roof was damaged. But generally the synagogue stayed as it is and the chandeliers disappeared. They left, they went somewhere, they were disassembled. So these are the elements which are brand new, made in 90s. Everything else is, and these chandeliers, everything else in a way is here, renovated. Second World War. Germany knew that this is here a ghetto and that the Soviets or others are not going to target this place. So that's why they placed their radio station in one of the towers. So can you imagine the irony of the historical moment that you have here ghetto, you have a cemetery where many bodies are brought because they didn't know in those times what to do with them. They couldn't take them out to the cemetery which is outside of the town. They placed all these bodies here. This is a center here of those who are deported, but you put the radio station in the middle of it to communicate how to continue your process. It's absolutely badly, sadly ironical.
Tony Curtis and Estee Lauder made major contributions for this synagogue.
And you will see the numbers 44 and 45 each of these flags. This was supposed to be a nice decorative big fish pond. Things did not turn out as we wanted. So in the times of that 44, May, June, July, people were dying here in Ghetto on the street. And they were brought here, and also later in the winter of 44-45, because February was when the Soviets came and liberated the country. So until then, here in the ghetto, dead bodies were brought, which is against all of the rules of Jewish religion. You are not burying a person, like sometimes in the Orthodox churches of Christian churches, because my father was an Orthodox. There, when you go to the Orthodox Church in Greece, you will find
Rose Temple. It seats fewer people, and since the congregation is smaller, they have services here in the wintertime. You don't have to heat the huge big synagogue.
Rose Temple. Let me invite you into the Memorial Park to conclude this afternoon's story.
Stones instead of flowers, because the stones last and the flowers don't. This plaque, embedded in the ground, surrounded by a huge pile of stones and pebbles, has 24 names engraved in gold, commemorating Wallenberg, a Swedish diplomat, and others who provided Jews with documents of protection and passports to enable them to escape being sent to extermination camps. A Hungarian Jew living in Jerusalem and became a famous artist and donated this.
Burning in fire, to symbolizing Nazism, racism. Burning fire.
It shows people burning in fire as evil. This is a weeping willow. People who can identify family members who died in the Holocaust can put their names on the leaves.